Welcome to the High School Huddle, Middle and Oklahoma City zoned editions. And alongside Ryan Aber, I am Bob Prisbillo. And Ryan, with the Middle schools, what are you really looking forward to here this first week of scrimmages?
Well, a lot of things, but really from Midwest City, I look forward to seeing how their offense responds. Their defense is going to be really good. They've got Dominique Jones, Emmanuel Maxwell, a lot of really good defensive playmakers. They only return 2 offensive starters, though. They lose Jace Chilcote and Timothy Flanders. They lost their top 3 receivers. So finding replacements for those guys will be priority number 1 for the Bombers. And it'll be interesting to see how those guys react.
You know, everyone knows that last year that Flanders was the heart and soul of the team, but we both thought that Jace was one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the state. Who's going to take over at quarterback?
Well, they've got 2 guys going right now. They got a senior, Bo Brodeur, who was actually the backup last year to start the season, but got hurt. Jenny Carlson wrote a very interesting column on him last weekend. But they've also got a junior, Greg Austin, who got a lot of playing time last year after Bo went down because they were blowing teams out. That they were able to use their backup quarterback quite a bit. So Greg certainly has an advantage experience-wise.
And we'll move from the Bombers to the Titans. What's up with Carl Albert?
Carl Albert's going to be really good again. Yeah, I know, it's a stunner. But you look at the guys they lost. They lost David Oku, Daytwan Lowe, Christian Smith, and the list goes on. And yet they're still expected to be one of the top 2 teams in Class 5A. They've got a really good quarterback, JT Romuto, who seems like he's been around forever because he has in a multitude of sports. But they've also got a couple really good defensive backs in Trey Porter and Markel Walker, who were part of that great defensive backfield last year, along with Daytwan Lowe and Ozell Littleton. But they've got another guy in the secondary who got some time last year, who I really look for big things for, and that's Dwight Dobbins. So, and they've got some good matchups in scrimmages this week where you should get to see those guys showcased. We might as well just move right on to Del City because that's one of the teams they're going to face. And Del City has a really good quarterback in Chaston Gonzalez. They've got Chris McAllister, one of the best wide receivers in the state. And they also got a guy, Donovan Dan, who's their number 2 wide receiver, who might be as good as any number 2 receiver in the state, minus one of the Roberson brothers at Tulsa Union probably.
Yeah. Right now, Southmore is the trendy pick for a team that's going to come out of nowhere. But like you said, Del City's got a lot of talent. Are they offended at all to the way that no one's paying attention to them?
Well, I don't think so, talking to them, because some coaches are paying attention to them. I went through my rankings, looked through the coaches' polls and what they had to say, and there was more than a few who picked Del City to finish in the top 10. And this is a team that hasn't made the playoffs in almost a decade, so that's saying something for them. Clearly there's some question marks on defense with Del City, but their offense will be high-powered, will be fun to watch. If they can get any kind of running game at all, they've got a real shot at making a run to the playoffs. And talking to Midwest City coach Steve Huff last week, he said that he thought that opening game of the season with Del City would be one of those old-school Del City-Midwest City matchups where it's a back and forth and up in the air till the very end.
And switching gears here, what do you see from the OKC schools?
Well, the ones I paid most attention to so far, first of all, Douglas. Douglas is also going to be a really good team this year. We talked about McGinnis. They're going to be right at the top of that district, battling for not only a district title, but obviously have a chance to win a state title as well. They've got one of the best players in the state in linebacker Corey Mitchell, real fun to watch. Went out and watched them Saturday morning in their scrimmage and just watched the way he moved across the field, and he really did a good job chasing things on the opposite side of the field where he is. But they've got some other really good players, especially Nick Neely, the big lineman.
And if you're talking about the city schools, you got to be talking about Star. Is this the year they finally break through?
Well, I think, again, they have a tough district as well because, Douglas has Douglas and McGinnis at the top. Star has Star and Glenpool, and they've got to go up there this year. I think that's the big test for them is when they play Glenpool with all those great players. But certainly they have the talent to, especially at the top with Darren Rideau and Terrence Olds. Their big combination out of the backfield who are also going to play big roles defensively.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, Ryan. We appreciate you joining us, and catch us next week for another edition with the OKC schools and the Mid-Del schools, and catch us every day at newsok.com/varsity.